Hi everyone, this is Dr. Harry. So another frequently asked question that I get is, can I reuse my disposable mask? And if so, how do I disinfect it? Now those are really good questions because we do want to feel that we're getting the most out of the use of our mask, right? Well, let me start off by saying this. The CDC does recommend cloth masks, and those are relatively easy to clean and disinfect. So tossing those in the washer with soap and water and then put them in the dryer is usually good enough to get those in a condition where they can be reused. Of course, if you don't have a washer and dryer, you can also hand wash those as well. But what about disposable masks? Let's say, for example, you've gotten your hands on an N95 and you're thinking, this is really precious. I can't get another one. And I really want to be able to use this because I've heard that it's really more effective in terms of filtering out. Well, there are a few things that you can do because one, the first thing that you want to do is avoid getting the mask wet and soiled. And by that could even mean getting makeup on it, right? And the other thing, so one way that you can preserve the use of the mask is by putting another disposable mask over that one. For example, a cloth mask or a surgical mask. Let's say that you've done that and so the mask is not soiled and you're thinking, oh, okay, now can I reuse this mask again? Well, yes, you may be able to do that if you allow the mask to sit in a breathable bag, such as a paper bag, for about 3 to 7 days. And I'll tell you why. The reason that would be is that the virus by then on that particular surface would have died and been no longer viable. So that's one way that you can reuse the mask safely. The other way that you might be able to, so here's some other questions that I get. Can I use alcohol? No. And I'll tell you why. Because while alcohol does kill the virus on the mask then becomes much, much less effective at filtering. So it loses a significant amount of its filtering capacity. So that's usually not recommended. One thing that has been shown to help is UVC light. By using UVC light and testing the filtration after using the UVC light, it was noted that you can use the mask up to 3 times. That meaning that you can disinfect it up to 3 times and still maintain a lot of the filtering capacity of the mask. Now, usually when you've been using UVC light, the problem with that is that a lot of the UVC lights available, they're not consistent. So you're really not knowing if you are fully disinfecting, and it usually takes longer to disinfect using UVC light. So usually an hour and upwards. Other things that have been looked at and studied, dry heat. So dry heat there's several studies, and one study looked at 158 degrees Fahrenheit. Another study looked at 186 degree Fahrenheit. And they both found that dry heat was able to disinfect the mask. In other words, was able to kill the virus. However, after about 2 uses or so, the mask may not have been as effective. So those are the ways that have been looked at. So no, don't use the Lysol or those kind of things because again, they do not work and they make the mask less usable. Can I use a microwave? No, that has really not been shown to be effective to disinfect a mask. So the takeaway point is that if you have maybe even 3 or 4 surgical masks and you want to be able to reuse them, then do not get them soiled or significantly contaminated or wet, and rotate them, put them in separately into a breathable bag such as a paper bag and allow them to dry completely for 3 to 7 days, and most of the virus on the mask should be dead. So this is Dr. Harry giving you an update on that. Stay tuned because we're still looking for other ways to disinfect the mask. Noted that the CDC does not currently recommend any particular method of disinfecting because they're still looking at it. So until next time, this is Dr. Harry. Bye-bye.